His Excellency, Honorable Governor of Maharashtra and Tamil Nadu, Vice Chancellor Professor G.D. Yadav, distinguished officials of university on the dais, Professor John Mary Lane, Professor Robert Grubbs, proud graduates of the day, they are equally proud families and friends that I see in the audience, ladies and gentlemen. I want to begin by first thanking our Honorable Governor. As you know, these are difficult times. He had to be elsewhere. But despite that, he said, my first duties are to academic excellence, academic institutions, and he is here amongst us. So let us applaud our Honorable Governor. Sir, you are an exemplar as far as we are concerned. Second, I want to point out to you that this may be a historical day in the Indian universities, because I don't think there has been an occasion wherein a convocation, two Nobel laureates have been honored with honorary doctorates. And I'm very proud that our Institute of Chemical Technology, can proudly say that these two Nobel laureates are our alumni. I must also say, as Professor Sharma said, our guru, guide and mentor, that this university is in the current shape because of the path it has followed, the inspiring guidance, inspiring leadership that has been provided, especially by Professor Sharma. We owe our existence today to Professor Sharma, our great guru, guide, and mentor. The journey, sir, I want to indicate to you, has been really spectacular. I know this is a bit exaggerated word, but I have to use it, because a mere Bombay University Department of Chemical Technology rises as a university and becomes number 2 in the national ranking after Indian Institute of Science. I think that's a great journey. As a matter of fact, there are very few parallels, I would say. I want to thank both Professor John Mary Lane and Professor Bob Grubbs for accepting our honor. I know it's a small honor. It's our appreciation of your great life, of your great work. It's our humble appreciation. You know, many of you will turn to research. And a question is often asked in India as to when an Indian working in India and for the work done in India will get a Nobel Prize. Excepting for Sir C.V. Raman, no one has received it so far. Now, if you probe in depth in terms of when a Nobel Prize is given, and of course, since they have won the Nobel Prizes, they will be able to tell you much better. But to my simple mind, it is like this. In Indian science, we have been preoccupied with looking through the windows that others have created. There is a breakthrough in superconductivity by Bednorz and Mueller. Everybody works on superconductivity. There is a breakthrough on graphene. Everybody works on graphene. There is a breakthrough in carbon nanotubes. Everybody works on carbon nanotubes. And we do top-class work. There is no question. But if we keep on saying we are going to be having the first word in India and not in the world, there will never be a Nobel Prize. So we have to open new windows. Now, Professor Lane, for example, his work in supramolecular chemistry, he opened the windows in supramolecular chemistry, opened the windows on self-organization processes, making use of molecular recognition to control and direct the spontaneous formation of functional architecture, and what is called as a constitutional dynamic chemistry, about which he did not talk, but it is something spectacular. Professor Grubbs, for example, olefin metathesis, redistribution of fragments of olefins by scission and regeneration of carbon-carbon double bonds. And there are Grubbs catalysts now, the series of transition metal carbon complexes for olefin metathesis, which have changed the world, basically. So they have opened new windows through which all of us are now looking and benefiting for. So I think the first thing I would like to urge our young people to work on opening new windows, and that will require certain irreverence, that will require certain risk-taking, boldness in your research. But since these iconic figures are on the dais, I thought from their life and work we can take some lessons. The last point I want to make, of course, and the most important one, is I want to congratulate the graduates of the day. You have worked very hard, and you will enter the real world now. It's a very different word. They call it a volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous word, the VUCA word, as we all know. India is rapidly changing. It is now the fastest growing economy of the world and will continue to be so for a number of years. People don't look at India as a third world country anymore. They look at it as the third most powerful country in the world, potentially. And the responsibility of building it is with you. We are talking about Science 2.0. We are talking about Education 3.0. We are talking about Industry 4.0. All right? These are the paradigm shifts that are taking place. So our institution, in order to remain not only at the top, but creating products which are yourself, which are relevant and will continue to be relevant, we have to do a number of game-changing things. We must build not only ability, we must build attitude. We must not only build minds, we must build mindsets. There's a common belief that there are certain attributes that are going to be important by 2020. They involve complex problem solving, emotional intelligence, creativity, cognitive flexibility, and ability to co-create. Co-create not just between man and man, but man and machine. People talk about COBOS, cooperative robots. So these are the new attributes that we'll have to develop. So for ICT to be an international chemical technology institute, we'll have to make sure that we are always ahead of the curve. While closing, I'll just leave 5 messages because it is conventional for the Chancellor to leave some messages. So 5 brief messages. The first is aspiration are your possibilities. So keep your aspirations high. Second, hard work. There is nothing like instant coffee. There is no instant success. All of us who have achieved anything in life have worked 24/7, day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, and that includes our Nobel laureates here. Third, work in silence. Let success speak for itself. Fourth, don't wait for opportunity to knock on your door. If opportunity does not knock, build a door. Build your own door. And the last one, please remember, there is no limit to human endurance. There is no limit to human imagination. There is no limit to human achievement. Accepting the limits that you put on yourself. So go limitless. Just look at this institution. Who would have thought? I remember entering, like Professor Sharma said, I also came from a very poor economic background and could enter UDCT, then UDCT, BUDCT, just because Sir Dorab Tata gave me 60 rupees per month. Who would have imagined when I entered the portals of this great university that one day I'll be standing here and speaking to you as your Chancellor, honoring these Nobel laureates? It would have looked impossible, isn't it? So we can make the impossible possible. I totally agree with my Guru, Professor M.M. Sharma. We must set our heights high. Great to be number 2 or by another definition number 1 in India. I'm not satisfied. We have to have global benchmarks. We have to be counted among the top few in the world. And that responsibility lies not only our current undergraduates, but all of you who are going to be the alumni. Because I also want to appeal. I was in fact telling His Excellency that one of the speciality of this great institution is that the love and affection and the commitment of the alumni, many of them are sitting here and donating generously never forgetting my institute, what can I do for it. I think it is that spirit which will take us to great heights. Thank you very much.